Yes, so maybe Laura, I will let the floor to you to present the first part of the presentation.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you very much. So we to talk about Compostela Pilgrim Ways in France. I'm Laure Coupalliance. I'm the director of the French agency, and I will talk to you about this serial cultural site. Please, is it? Thank you. And I will present you the St. James Way. Thank you very much. So, sorry. I've just a problem here. Okay. Good. First of all, a few words about the two inscriptions. The routes to Santiago de Compostela in Europe were the first to be certified as a European cultural route in 1987. This international recognition covers all the Compostela's routes in Europe. As concerned recognition by UNESCO, this is a little more complex. The Pilgrim's Way to Santiago de Compostela in Spain was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List earlier, in 1993, while the Pilgrim Ways to Santiago de Compostela in France was inscribed separately in 1998. So I'll talk about the French side. There are 5 main routes in France. The oldest and most published is the route of Puy-en-Velay, which attracts between 25,000 and 30,000 walkers every year. The inscription of the Way of St. James Ways on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1998 included 7 sections of path between the Aubrac Plateau and the Basque Country, French Basque Country, all of which are located on the route, on the Puy-en-Velay route. The Tours, Vézelay, Piémont-Pyrénéen, and Arles routes each attract between 2 and 10,000 pilgrims a year. The latter leads to Spain via the Sompo Pass, while the other 4 pass through Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port and the Roncesvalles Pass. Please, can I have the thank you. In addition to the 7 sections of the route, 71 sites and monuments make up the serial cultural property, the Pilgrim's Route to Santiago in France, making a total of 78 components. They are divided into 3 categories: devotional sites, included 9 cathedrals, 42 churches and basilicas, and even a dolmen associated with a cross. There's also buildings for welcoming and caring for pilgrims, included 4 former hospitals and 7 abbeys. Access and crossing points are also a category, including 7 bridges, a city getaway, and the 7 sections of path we have been discussing before. The property has a national management plan and 48 local management plans, which are coordinated by the French Agency of the Route of Compostela on behalf of the French state. Please, can I have that? Thank you very much. Even though the property was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1998, the outstanding universal value was only adopted by the World Heritage Committee in July 2018, oui, 18. Santiago de Compostela was the supreme goal for countless thousands of pious pilgrims who converge there from over Europe throughout the Middle Ages. To reach Spain, pilgrims had to pass through France, and the group of important historical monuments included in these inscriptions marks out the four routes by which they did so. So there is major sanctuaries, but also the seventh section of Le Chemin de Puy-en-Velay, which were included in this inscription. So there's three criterion. Criterion 2 of the outstanding universal value. The pilgrimage route to Santiago de Compostela played an essential role in religious and cultural exchanges and development during the late Middle Ages, and as is immediately illustrated by the carefully selected monuments on the routes followed by pilgrims in France. Next criterion is the spiritual and physical needs of pilgrims traveling to Santiago de Compostela, where meet through the creation of a number of specialized buildings, many of which were created and or further developed on the French sections. And last criterion is the pilgrim route to Santiago de Compostela is an exceptional testimony of the power and influence of the Christian faith across all social classes and countries of Europe in the Middle Ages. Can I have next, please? Thank you. The management of the Way of St. James in France involves the transposition of the management plan into local actions related to involvement in the local commission, participation in global governance and action in the network, conservation and restoration of the building, scientific knowledge, international cooperation to share values, development of surrounding area, communication as cultural mediation, educational action, and also training of stakeholders with involvement of the inhabitants and economic stakeholders, and finally tourism development based on the identity of the cultural site, itinerancy, and cultural and sustainable tourism. Next, please. And this is your turn. There are a few examples. Sorry, there are a few examples of monuments and paths inscribed. Thank you, Eva.
I don't know if my mic is switched on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
So in the second part of the presentation, I'm going to present the Agence, our role and missions briefly. So we are located in Toulouse, south of France, and we are an association. So we bring together professional, lay, public, private, and cultural bodies. We can sum up our role in two parts. First, to promote and to spread the values linked to the cultural heritage of the St. James Ways. And also, as Laura has already mentioned, to promote the sustainable development and sustainable tourism through the long distance walking or cycling, if you want, and through cultural tourism throughout the ways to Santiago de Compostela. So for the part of communication to the public and information, we would like to spread the news that we are going to release a new website soon by the 25th of March. So this is next week, with a new unique graphic identity, a new logo that you can see on slide, And also to help the pilgrims to prepare their travel and to prepare their itinerary, we have developed an interactive map where you can find all the practical information and where you can sleep, and where also information on the cultural events and also about the cultural heritage that you can visit throughout the ways. And to promote this new website, we have started a communication campaign on our different social media. We have already started it this month, and this will continue until May. And you can, if you want to, you can have a look to the communication campaign on our Instagram, but also on the Facebook, I think. And yes, so have a look. And you have here on the slide also the link to the website. So about our members and partners that we work with, you can see that we have a large range of actors and institutions around us. For the members, we count 190 members in total from a different kind, like local authorities, associations, and for the partners, we have also a large range of variety of partners with scientific partners, technical partners, and institutions like the European institutions, for example, but also most local partners. So we are working in different scales and levels. For our actions, so you can see that we have a large range of actions too. To sum up, so we have the information to the public. So we have an office in Toulouse where we welcome people if they want information about the ways. But we are also very active on our website and social networks. And we have also developed various documents and different types of media to spread the information about the itineraries. Support and training dedicated to professionals and territorial administrations to get them and give them information about what we do, about the cultural heritage, and etc. Everything about the Sentence Way. Mediation, so same development and dissemination of tools for the cultural valorization of the heritage resources. The itinerary. Promotion, so it means like promotion of the soft mobility, development of soft mobility, and about everything about tourism, sustainable tourism, etc. The cooperation, so on different levels, like national, European, and international levels, we develop projects, and I will talk about an example of an European project right after. And for the part of World Heritage, so we are very active to get to animate the network about with all the actors around the World Heritage for the cultural objects chemin de Compostelle en France. So this is here an example of an European project that we led, that we participated in. I think it was in 2022. This is an Erasmus. Oh, sorry, I have a problem with my headphones.
So I was saying that here you can find an example of an European project. This is an Erasmus Plus project developed with partners in Italy, Portugal, and Spain around three central themes: the heritage education, methodology, and digital competence. The main goal of this project was to develop virtual educational resources dedicated to adults in order to get more information and to get knowledge about the cultural heritage of the Camino de Santiago, and to have it in a format of a multimedia and very easy to get access to, etc. So the target audiences are the tutors, trainers, and teachers who work in the education for adults. and also any adult of all ages skills that you want to expand your knowledge about the Symptoms Way. And you can, the classrooms and the resources are still available on the Compostelle website if you want to check it. Okay. Laura, I will let you continue, maybe.
Yes, so we are going to talk about educational projects, and you can see at the top left of this slide the initiative of the Association Sur les Pas de Saint-Jacques en Aveyron, which proposed a form of geocaching which decorated peoples found along the routes which could be replaced by personalized peoples. The digital radar and treasure-owned applications deployed in the Occitania and Nouvelle-Aquitaine regions are also a big hit with families, helping them to learn about the little and big stories along the way. Finally, adapting exhibitions for younger visitors with tactile devices here at the Jacobin in Toulouse helps to create a bond with the youngest visitors. Events are also important for bringing heritage to life. In the middle of the slide, you can see a dramatized visit into the town of Saint-Gilles, which is part of the Cell cultural site. Next, please. Thank you. The graphic novel is also a very effective medium for conveying the outstanding universal value of the site. We have also adapted the comic book into an exhibition that everyone can get in this town. Suivante. We also have worked with partners on educational activities. Here you can see Vacation Notebook in Neuvy-Saint-Sépulcre, which was done with a teacher and his class. In the middle, you can see a game of goose on Via Tolosana, made in 2018. Same at the first experience, it was a work of a teacher with his class. And then in Conques, you can see a treasure hunt to discover the Conques patrimonial heritage. Suivante. Merci. The Communal Arts Label is a tool that helps municipalities, large and small, to develop services dedicated to pilgrims, but also to pass on this heritage and bring it to life for local residents, for them to really be proud of this heritage. The first phase begins with a diagnosis and followed by the implementation of a 3 years action plan. There are currently 36 stopover towns in the network, and 7 new towns will be awarded the label this year. Suivant. The Accueil Compostelle, Welcoming Compostelle label, aimed at accommodation providers along the route, is also a good tool to help train professionals about the cultural site who can then talk to pilgrims about it. Thank you for your attention, and we are here to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my question was if you saw any impact with the pandemic, because this route is generally a route that is well known and that was already well known before the pandemic. I mean, when I think about pilgrimages, usually it's the first one I think of. And yeah, maybe also if you saw an increase of young people or if it stayed more or less the same throughout the years.
Tu veux que je réponde, Eva? Oui. So, well, yes, there's more pilgrims now than before the pandemic. The year, even during the first year of pandemic, because in France we were confined. I'm not sure about the English term because it was really
Isolated?
French, but isolated.
Yeah.
Thank you. Even lots of women went on the Santiago de Compostella's routes. Younger people maybe, but really, the main fact was there were lots of families and women alone doing the road. So this is what we noticed really just after the first year of pandemic. And since we have more and more people on the way, especially on the Puy-en-Velay road, and sometimes in May or in September, it can be a problem because accommodations are not enough to absorb all these peoples.
Yes, thank you very much for the answer. Yes, and also yes, that makes me think about over tourism, which even in slow tourism, yeah, sometimes it can impact the routes. So thank you very much for the answer.
This is also a consequence of the closures we had during the pandemic, maybe, and the search for for one's dimension, spiritual dimension, maybe as well, by walking along a route like this. So probably it's very interesting how many people are reaching out for these routes. I think this is common in all three routes we presented tonight. So that's also interesting for young people to join and find their own dimension in living these routes. I just wanted to ask you again regarding the kind of structure you have, because I understand that there are different sections of the Santiago's Way according to different countries. So is there any kind of an international link or coordination maybe among all activities? And how do you learn from each other from different countries? I understand that this particular way is the oldest pilgrimage. In fact, it is the first one which was certified and recognized universally, maybe. So it might be difficult to, I mean, it could be interesting to understand if this separation between countries is giving some kind of richness to the whole of the network and the whole of the itinerary, or there are communication problems maybe in having one single kind of presentation of the route. Even the practicalities, maybe the signals might be different from one country to the next, or there is a common thread unifying not just the communication of the pilgrimage, but also the vision and the mission for all these organizations promoting this pilgrimage in different countries.
About the first part of your question, well, we're working together, and the cultural route of Europe is working with all countries that have Compostelle's roots on their territories. But UNESCO worked on two cultural sites, which are really, really different, because in Spain it's just roads, and in France, as I explained to you, there is some monuments and some path sections. So for UNESCO, this is two cultural objects with two management. But for Europe, we are all the same route. And so there is a European Federation, which every 4 years, working on the field you have to submit to European Council to stay certified. So yes, there is a European organization. Maybe Eva, if you want to speak about the European Federation and the cooperation with all the countries which are members.
So we're part of the European Federation, which has been created, I think, in 2011 or something like that. I don't have the number of members in mind, but I would say more than 10.
10. There is not 10 members, but there is 10 countries which are represented.
Yes, right. And especially this year, I think we have started to work together on projects that we can where we can put together initiatives and ideas. And I don't know what to add about this.
We are trying to work on common projects, especially, for example, European Heritage Days. Yes, we are trying to find ways to input common projects.